the City of Oconomowoc Common Council meeting for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Has appropriate meeting notification been made?
It has, Your Honor.
If we would all please stand and rise, and Chief Bowen, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you, Chief. Would you please call roll?
Alderman Shellpepper.
Here.
Alderman McConnell.
Here.
Alderman Youngworth.
Here.
Alderman Rosick.
Here.
Alderman Altman-Cloth.
Here.
Alderman Ellis.
Here.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Here.
Alderman Mulder.
Council and those in the audience, I would ask you if we could just take a moment of silence. Our community lost an incredible young man, Nate Sastro, this past weekend. Nate has done an incredible amount of things for our community. He's an incredible father, incredible husband. I've known him for over 30 years, and I know many of you know him. In the city, he's just really helped revitalize our downtown area. His philanthropic efforts, YMCA, Oconomowoc Area Foundation, multiple places. He's going to be sorely missed, but he's also a kind of a guiding light for things that we can try to aspire to. So let's take a moment of silence and pray for his family and remember him in the way you wish. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes for November 4th, 2025.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Without objection, I'd like to bring some new business forward, the presentation by Journey 21. Do I have any objections? Seeing no objections, we'd like to bring forth the folks from Journey 21 that are going to be giving you an update. They came to this council, the majority of you, and they're going to tell you what's going on. So we look forward to the presentation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Judy Taylor, and I'm the president and CEO of Journey 21. My heartfelt condolences to all of you with Nate. I worked with Nate in economic development for a couple of years, and so he was truly instrumental in this community and will be missed. So thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. I am with Heidi Hamilton, our Richmond Center director, as well as Jessica Greb. She is our resident life director. So Jessica's going to hand out a couple packets. We want you to have something to take away so that you can look back and reference things if you would like, but otherwise I'll just quickly walk through what we came here tonight, and that's to give you an update on the last 2.5 years of the existence of Journey 21 being in the community. So just as a refresher for those of you who may not know us, our mission and our reason for existence is really to provide safe, supportive, and enriching living and learning opportunities for individuals with IDD. Our impact, when we opened 2.5 years ago, April of 2023, our impact has been really significant. We started with 3 staff members and are proud to say today that we currently are hiring our 20th team member. We are strong with over 250 volunteers who served 1,700 hours in 2024. Over 300 participants from 8 Wisconsin counties come to Journey 21 for various educational and social activities throughout the year. Year over year, we continue to thrive and grow with intention. We have over 340 programs, outings, and events that averages to about 28 per month. Of those 310 participants I had just mentioned, we had 135 students that enrolled in our academic programs last year. Those academic programs we call our learning academies, and Heidi's going to speak a little bit more about that shortly. But last year, we had 93 student internships and work experiences, which is just over 45 students working in our community per semester, which is a huge win for workforce development in the city. We have over 100 community partners, schools, universities, other nonprofits, and businesses that directly support our mission. In 2025, we have had some amazing, amazing milestones. In May, we had 12 graduates walk across the stage with their certificate from WCTC and Journey 21. We are thrilled to have have the first intergenerational national Girl Scout IDD troop right here in Oconomowoc, which serve members over the age of 21. So that's the first one in the country. And we were awarded the best places to work by the Business Journal. And it's because we have an outstanding team who serves this mission with pride and passion. Next up is Heidi Hamilton, who will share more about what we do inside those walls of the Enrichment Center that you see on Old Schoolhouse Road.
Thank you, Judy. And like Judy said, my name is Heidi Hamilton, and I'm going to take you on a little ride. I talk very fast. I'm pretty passionate, so if I go too fast, let me know, and I will slow down. So this is our Enrichment Center. I'm going to ask, have any of you been to Journey 21? Please raise your hand. 2 out of everyone? Well, we would love to invite you for a tour because what happens behind those doors it's pretty magical. In the Enrichment Center, we have a multi-purpose room, a sports court, fitness center, art room, Cedar Cafe, teaching kitchen, conference room. We rent our space out to many different organizations, high schools, weddings, quinceañeras, the different businesses throughout the area, and we have a flexible space outdoors that has a beautiful fireplace. The first thing that we started back in 2021 is our programs and outings, which we now call CORE. We offer over 85 of these a quarter. We have fitness classes, sports classes, movie and game nights, dances, nature hikes. So think about this. We serve adults between the ages of 15 all the way to 61. That's the age range of our adults that we serve, over 300. Many of them that are in their 50s and 60s have really never had that socialization once they graduated high school at the age of 21. So for the past 30 years, they've kind of been in their house, watching TV, and now that they have this sense of purpose, sense of community, they can't get enough of Journey 21, making friendships and being part of the Oconomowoc community. So this is a small piece of what Journey 21 offers, and that is our CORE, and that is over 85 programs each quarter. Judy alluded to our learning academies. So we have 3 learning academies. We have a 2-year college called the Life Academy. And this is a beautiful opportunity where we have partnered with WCTC. We take classes at WCTC because our adults need to be able to capture that college experience, which most of their friends, when they graduate, they go to college, they go and they work. And our adults with IDD or special needs, many of them don't have those opportunities. So we have a college program. We also are partnering with Marquette University right now, in which we are providing a non-degree program using Journey 21's curriculum, where our adults will be able to live on campus and enjoy that dorm experience at Marquette University. So in addition to that, our Learning Academy goes to Rogers Behavioral Health. They work with the art therapists, music therapists, and recreational therapists, working on big emotions, conflict resolution, working on team building on the high ropes courses. Another experience that we do with the 2-year college is we go to Camp Whitcomb on Mondays when they are freshmen. Every Monday morning, they do all nature-based courses, orienteering, kayaking, shelterwood building. And in the afternoons, we do service projects and we give back to Camp Whitcomb because that's where they work on their soft skills, and that feeds into the internships that they receive. So they have 4 internships in those 2 years. And those internships are all based on their abilities, their aptitudes, and what we think that they and know they're going to be good at. For instance, Bevco Engineering is in Sussex, and we have a young man who is a master at putting Lego models together. He can put them together in 0.2 seconds, and he loves it, and I'm like, gosh, wouldn't something be interesting if he could put together control panels? I reached out to Bevco Engineering. They put control panels together for air conditioning units. The wires connect to the different colors. And I'm like, can we do an internship with Nicholas? Because I think he's going to be absolutely great for you. They loved him so much after the internship, they have hired him full-time, and they have changed their whole philosophy on hiring. And now they make it a point to hire those who are on the autism spectrum or have an IDD, because it's changed their whole culture in the workplace. And one more story I have, we have a young woman who did an internship at Oconomowoc Memorial Hospital. She sterilized the equipment, stocked the nursing stations, worked in distribution, and they now hired her full-time. I cannot tell you, we cannot tell you how much Oconomowoc community has embraced us. We have created over 100 partnerships in just 2 years. So when Judy talked about all the internships that our students are participating in, it's from the businesses right here in Oconomowoc. And many of these internships turn into part-time employment or full-time employment. It's been amazing. And then we also have one more partnership with the two-year college, and that's at Next Level Sports Performance. Our adults, as many, hate fitness. They don't like to work out. They don't like to go on a treadmill. So what we do is we go to Next Level Sports Performance, and we train with Derek Watt and the professional athletes. Who doesn't want to train with Derek Watt and the Watt boys? So on Wednesday mornings, we go through 7 different circuit trainings, from weight to core to flexibility to stretching, and we work out there and we develop a wellness plan for them, because our ultimate goal is for them to be healthy, independent, and hopefully living in our residential community soon. Is everyone following me? Okay, so that is our Life Academy. All of our learning academies, which we have a summer academy and an 18 to 21, focus on the 5 core areas. Here they are: personal finances, health, wellness, and safety, independent living skills, social skills and relationship building, employment, vocational skills development. All right, let's get to the next one, Summer Academy. So when I took this position over, I did a tremendous amount of research. What is in the country? What's unique? What's offered? One thing that our parents, we do a lot of evaluations. We like to get the feedback from the parents. One thing they talk about is there's not a lot in the summer for our adults. So the research that I did, there's really nothing other than a week camp, a weekend. So we developed what's called the Summer Academy. 3 different sessions: June 3 weeks, July 3 weeks, August 3 weeks, 5 days a week, 6 hours. And we went from the first summer in 2023 with 40 adults. Last year we went to 80 adults. This summer we went to 135 and still had a waiting list. It is amazing. It is engaging. They are enriched, and we absolutely love our Summer Academy, and so do our adults. That's the second academy. The third one is our 18 to 21 Transition Academy. So developed a curriculum, and by law, it's mandated that every public high school has an 18 to 21 program for adults, or I like to say adults, for students who have special needs. So not every program has a lot of students, and so I thought, why don't we develop an 18 and 21 Transition Academy? Met with DPI, got it approved, state regulated, and now we are the first program in Wisconsin outside of the school district that offers an 18 to 21 transition program. So what we do is we partner with the high schools, we implement the school's IEP. If you don't know what that is, it's an individualized education plan. We fulfill the services, and they receive the diploma from their home school district. So we just provide the services, and we also implement their IEP. So that's another great avenue, and we right now partner with Arrowhead, Elmbrook, Johnson Creek, Kettle Moraine, Mugwanago, and Waukesha school districts. And then I talked about the Life Academy. And then the community partnerships, I talked about all of these. We just created a brand new one called through Herzing University, and they are going to do workshops on personal hygiene, interviewing skills, any area that we feel that our adults need extra support in, because we just developed a 3rd year of the Life Academy, which is our 2nd year is when they graduate, like Judy talked about. And did you want to add anything about our partners, Judy?
It's an overwhelming thing where everyone who comes to visit, that's why we encourage you to come and tour. Once you see it and feel it, you understand the magic that happens there and the transformation of these students who come in, who some are not able to speak, others, they leave 6 months later being able to.
Come in nonverbal, and they become verbal after.
But our partners help us to do that because we go out in the community, and Ace Hardware and Sendix and Culvers and Dock Hounds and every business you can think of, really, truly, has been a partner to us. And if you look at our website, it's over 100. It's amazing.
Yep. Yes, totally agree. And I'm going to turn it back over to Judy. Thank you. I could talk for 7 more hours, but I'm not going to.
When do you sleep?
I don't have as much energy as Heidi, but we all have as much passion as Heidi because she has built this program at Journey 21 to be what it is. And we just see it working with our students every day. So we're excited to share that the journey at Pabst Farms is on the horizon. We're not prepared to discuss details tonight, but we look forward to returning in the coming months with a full update of that residential community. So in the meantime, we just say thank you. Thank you for being a partner to us. We truly appreciate the city of Oconomowoc. Again, we want to offer the tour to everybody who would be available to come visit us. We have a Holiday Ability Showcase this weekend, so if you can make it on Saturday to just come join us, we can give you a tour then. But thank you for your time, and we'll be back when we're ready to discuss Journey at Pabst Farms. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Into the community, and this council said, hey, let's have you in Oconomowoc. So thank you for coming back to give us updates and to invite us to come and see what's going on. So congratulations to you all. Council, I didn't know, does anybody have any question they'd like to ask? Do you? Great. Jennifer?
I was just curious, when you were listing off the high schools, and I think I know the answer to this, why not Oconomowoc?
That was my question.
So Oconomowoc has one of the best
That's-
18 to
I knew
21
that was the
programs
answer.
in the
Okay.
state. They have East Campus, they fulfill the services, so all the power to them.
And is it Jen Colath, who was just
Correct.
recognized, she's a key member of that,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
so I had a feeling that's why they weren't on there, because
Yes.
they're already.
No need to.
Good
Yes.
thing to have. Yeah.
But we do collaborate with them, and we do a lot of different things with them. Yes.
Oh, it's
Karen?
not a question, I just want to say, Judy, Heidi, and everybody, this was by far one of the best decisions and votes that we ever made for this council.
Oh, you just gave
Yeah.
me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, I mean it sincerely. Yeah.
Kevin?
Thank you.
I do know of an individual who went through your program, and I can say, thumbs up, you guys are fantastic. Fantastic.
Appreciate
It
that.
changes them and their families.
Yes.
It's not only
Yes.
the person, it's their families.
You're actually, it's not just the child, but it's the family, it's the mom, it's the dad, it's the siblings. I mean, just by what you're doing, you're making such an impact, such an impact. I thank you.
No, we thank you. And there's not a day that doesn't go by where a parent's not crying, and it's tears of joy, crying and just happy that we are here. And it's moving, like Judy said, we invite you to attend. The energy, and they come and they introduce themselves, and they want to take you on a tour, and they're social, and I would love, and so Judy talked about this Saturday, we have our Ability Showcase. We have about 20 of our adults that are entrepreneurs and have their own businesses, and then we also have Full Spoon and Serendipity and a lot of the boutiques in downtown Oconomowoc coming to sell their merchandise, so it's a whole community event. 9 to 1, come to Journey 21, I'll come find you, I'll give you a tour.
All right.
That's all I have.
Thank you. All right. Lots of energy. Great. Thank you, Council. Okay, let's move on to comments and suggestions from citizens. This is a part of our meeting where you have the opportunity, anyone in the area can come in. Please, when you come to the podium, state your name, your address, and the community in which you live. We allow about 3 minutes for you to share your thoughts on anything that's going on in the city. It's not a two-way discussion because we don't have anything on the agenda, and we never know what people are going to talk about. So please limit it to 3 minutes. Our first person, I appreciate you reaching out, Lou, for coming up, if you want to come up to the podium. Lou had actually reached out in advance, Council, and I said, let's go at least 10 minutes because you'd done some work and wanted to present something. So I want to make sure that you have time, and we told Lou he could have 10 minutes instead of 3. But whatever other cards I read, we'll try to keep it at 3 for the point of efficiency. So if you'd please introduce yourself and share what you have. Thank you.
My name is Lou Kavieski. I live at 131 North Locust Street in the city of Oconomowoc. Based on a previous meeting where information was shared with this council and with this community associated with alternative locations, sizes of bathrooms to support the downtown, I made comment then and did some research and some homework and some partnerships with local resources to provide you with this information today. Downtown Oconomowoc truly is the gathering place of the community that we live in. I just want to review briefly the use, the infrastructure, the location of what I will be proposing, the benefit need associated with the infrastructure associated with downtown, and finally a budgetary cost associated with what will be presented. Supporting our downtown with infrastructure for public daily use and events and more is really kind of the theme that I've heard from the council and I've heard from the community. We're not looking at bathrooms for the downtown to satisfy every major event need, but for sure the daily use of those who are walking the Fowler Lake Walk, enjoying the boardwalk, enjoying our downtown boutique shops, bars, taverns, and nightlife, casual gatherings on the green, minor community events, and subsequently enhancing public infrastructure for major regional events, such as what we're seeing take shape on the green now in preparation of the German Christmas market and other activities. How did we get here? Well, we've had years of indecision. We've had years of plans that don't reflect public supported scale and cost. We've previously had failed public-private visions and not exploring some of the options and listening to the public input. I got a call today from Tom Stray. Many of you will remember him kindly and fondly. And he told me to convey it's time for common sense to move forward with the option behind City Hall. The Village Green does provide for a unique benefit for our community, and with that vision, we truly have seen this downtown come alive. It wasn't that long ago in our 150-year history that this downtown was struggling and the downtown shops were majority vacant. It was that Village Green opening up to our precious lakes that really started to spur what we see today. Major gatherings and events, though on the Village Green, would still require porta potties, regardless of the scale that I've heard talked about here. Most who gather park east of the green towards City Hall. If anybody takes a look at the parking map that the city has put together, approximately 530 to 550 parking stalls and slots, both on the street and on public parking lots, are located east of the Village Green. I'm not advocating for this over a bathroom at some point adjacent to the Village Green, but this city, like most businesses, should be opportunistic and take advantage of what's available to you when it's available. And current plans reflect new construction with no added value to the real estate around it. It's a public-private partnership that potentially could get messy. The cost, the structure of it hasn't been worked out, and the answer to some of those questions is you got to pass it in order to understand it. We've seen that play out on the federal level, and I think the appetite for that probably on this council and within this community is not strong. The expansion off of the northwest corner of the et cetera, somebody who's actually here and presented last time provided some pictures marking off the location approximately associated with what would come out into the green. And fortunately now we have the tent up for the German Christmas market. You can kind of see it very much narrows the access points along that major tent. toward the City Hall, we have many draws that bring you closer to City Hall. Oz Plaza is a great one, Fowler Lake Boat Launch, City Hall itself, the parking behind City Hall, Fowler Lake Village, St. Paul Church, Pleasant Street, and East Wisconsin Avenue retail has been very strong. And the space behind City Hall has been a major event overflow, accommodating for food trucks and other event support for things such as the German Christmas market and more. It's also, this location here is part of what could be that East Wisconsin corridor reactivation that's been talked about and worked on for some time. This is an image of what those bathrooms could look like, taking a portion, approximately half, of the existing parking stalls in the garages behind City Hall. You can see men's and women's bathroom layout there, 2 urinals and a ADA compliant stall, and on the women's 3 stalls, 2 sinks, a little vestibule to kind of break down the outside weather coming in. This is an all-season, all-year-round access with heat and AC incorporated into it, and I truly do appreciate our city administrator, Mark Fry, and Jason Herzog meeting me with a couple of people to take a look at the space and take dimensions. So this is a true representation of what that could look like. Unlike the image to the lower right, I used AI to kind of represent what that could look like with some signage. And obviously those garage doors would be removed and doors themselves would be put in there. On the top upper is an overview of that parking map that I referenced. In that parking map, it breaks down the number of parking stalls located behind City Hall, at Collins Street, at the Public Safety Building. I estimated the number of parking spots on St. Paul, Pleasant, and along Wisconsin Avenue to come up with the 530 plus parking spots. The City Hall location has been discussed both here and in the community. I did put a Facebook video out of the session that was held at the community center with over 5,000 views from the community, and many reached out and provided input. I know this council has expressed some concern for the number of people who have reached out. One of the things that I hear on a somewhat regular basis is that they don't feel like they're being heard, so they're not going to take their time to come out here. I feel like I will be heard because I will be heard, and I appreciate the fact that you're allowing me to represent those that don't feel like they are. The City Hall location is highly visible. It's currently city-owned and occupied. It's conveniently located. That convenience is reflected in the lower right-hand corner as I'm looking at it. I did a Google map. It's approximately 500 feet from that center point to the corner of the et cetera at that extended walking path. Those who walk the Fowler Lake walk that path on a regular basis. There's been some talk about and some concern about safety about walking that way. They do that every day. Minimal space use with major public benefit. There's been some talk about potential expansion here in City Hall as this city continues to grow and the services that are required in order to maintain a high level of support are needed. More people here are needed. It's a very small footprint within the extra space that has not been utilized fully since the Oconomowoc Police Department has been moved into its new home. The elimination of the bathroom at the et cetera would not really impact the public or the porta potty need there. Doing it behind City Hall with the bathrooms would also negate the discussion about where the dumpsters would go. potential impacts to the parking there. And I again mentioned the location to where people are parking, gonna pass that on their way to the green or on the way to the boardwalk and then coming back. Most people that enjoy our events in the Village Green don't spend all day, they spend a few hours there and then come back. Lastly, with the professional that I had with me that provided that plan, they sent that plan through their estimating department, and there was an estimated budget of $305,000 in order to make that a reality. Another benefit associated with that is that it is inside, so it could be done during the winter months and be ready for spring events on the Village Green. I don't ask that you don't explore other options. I ask that you fully explore this option as well. As council, you are in need of good information to make good policy. And I think it is in your best interest and the community's best interest to have this as part of those options. That is my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up is Laura Gibbs.
Good evening, everyone. Laura
Welcome back.
Gibbs. Thank you. 908 West LaBelle Avenue, and that's in the city. Originally, we were supposed to talk about bathrooms tonight, and I understand there's other things that sometimes supersede. But I did want to come in tonight because the last time that I was here and presented, there was a lot of conversation after that. So I wanted to just address some of those things so that as you move forward in this journey, hopefully they can be part of your conversation. One is that we talked about the side of the building there and that we wanted, it's one part of the whole park and that we want it to look nice. I agree with that. I think the very first, but I don't think that it really has an impact on moving forward with one plan or another. I think that that business has the responsibility to maintain their property, and I understand that they want to find out which direction they're going to go before they do that. That makes sense to me. But as I look at that building, the front third of it is brick. I don't think they really need to do anything to that. The last portion is not brick, but and the stairs. I don't think that the stairs are in any way, shape, or form an obstacle. That every city, every building has to have that for safety purposes. So I think that if they move ahead, well, let's not go there yet. But I don't think that there's anything with that building that's so offensive that it impedes not going ahead with a partnership. Another thing that was talked about is the parking and that people don't want to go from one end to the other. But, especially if you're in the back of the city and Lou's plans, you can see the whole city is really pretty, compact and unified. Most of the parking is down where Lou is projecting putting the bathrooms. So I don't think that the parking really has too much to do with it at all. My biggest concern is the partnership. I mean, whether there's a 10-year lease, a 15-year lease, or a 25-year lease, whatever, that's a lifetime for me. And I think that that's way too long to put something in the hands of, people who are, I understand, and I don't have anything against personally, but I think it's an awful long time to put, something in the hands of things that change in the city, and especially when it has to do with the city taxpayers and how they want to see the property used. I think one other thing that was brought up, I like Lou's plan. As you all know, I have an open mind. I'm happy to, I came in here the first time a number of months ago saying, I don't think we need bathrooms. True, we need bathrooms, maybe even 2 locations. And to now, looking at Lou's plan saying, my goodness, if the cost and the budget is an issue, we have the cost and the budget, and we can work within. I don't see any reason how we could do better than this budget when it has heat, plumbing, electric, all the infrastructure is there. How can we improve upon that? I really don't think we can. And I think the private partnership really does bring a lot of problems. You don't know what's going to happen, tomorrow. Somebody you say, passed away. It's terrible. I'm sorry to hear it. But, I mean, these things happen. There's no guarantees for anyone. But what the guarantee is that it's city land and it's city-run and operated. And that's exactly where I think that should remain.
If you could wrap it up, please.
I'm going to
that would be
wrap it
great.
up. I
Thanks.
do want to bring to the attention the memorandum that was attached to the October 21st. It has Mark Fry's, Jason Herzog, and Eric Bocher's names on it. And they say, how would a public-private partnership work? There are two ways. One, the city constructs and owns the building. The second, the building owner constructs and owns the building. If those are on the table, I absolutely am so opposed to that, and I know there has been a lot of public outcry about that, and none of it is in favor of a public-private partnership, or very, very little of it, I guess I would say. The other thing is that it says here that they're talking about, the rooftop area, but that's not all that's on the table here. And it's really concerning to me that they want to do an at-grade, meaning on the green lease to the et cetera building. That's a bar. A bar does not belong on our city green. The city green is for people to enjoy, the quiet, the lake, events when we have them, but not for, parties every night of the week. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Holly Schick.
Hello, I'm Holly Schick. I live at 702 West Glenview Avenue, Oconomowoc, City of Oconomowoc, for 39 years. And I don't have much more to say because I listened to both Lou and Laura, and I do agree with those things. You've heard me say before that I really am not in favor of a public-private partnership. I think we have a very bad track record with it, and I think we have to be very good stewards about what we already own. The land we own, once you get rid of it, you can't get it back. And I know this from a very personal situation with my own land. So I want us to be good stewards. I want us to keep whatever we have as the city. I think if you look at this budget estimate, I was trying to read it from back there, and it goes into great detail. And it's a number that I think we could probably live with. Also, I call them toilet rooms, not bathrooms. There's no bathtub and no shower in any of these plans. Thanks.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you very much. Do we have any other comments or anything people would like to share from the audience on any topic for our council? Seeing none, we're going to move on to our consent agenda items in the treasurer's report. Item 6A1, I'd like to entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we move on, let's move on to our committee reports. Those are from Protection and Welfare. Consider an act on ordinance 25-01112 to create section 21.19 to restrict the use of aerators on the lakes. Council, this is an ordinance change. This is the first reading. I'd like to open it up to Chief Bowen. Are you going to touch base with that with the group? Thank you very much.
Hey, I'll just say it right now. Nice shirt.
We communicated, right?
Yeah, but it's red.
Yeah, mine's vibrant red, his is, okay.
I don't know. I'm looking at you, Lou, the three of you right here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
Oh. All right, Chief, go ahead.
All right, so this ordinance was brought to you from us as part of a public safety initiative. The lakes, we already know during the winter months, the ice is unstable and very risky, and unfortunately every winter we encounter drownings. The last couple of years, we've seen an increase in the number of aerators used on different lakes throughout our district, and unfortunately, every year we have tied some of these water rescue incidents to aerator use, specifically last winter over on Pewaukee Lake. They're allowed, There are laws in place that require people to flag them and mark them off, but that's not happening. So this ordinance prohibits the use of aerators on the lakes from November 15th through April 15th annually to help with the public safety. The last thing I want is somebody walking on the ice because this is artificially preventing the ice from freezing, the water from freezing and creating ice. And it also creates different depths. So that is why the ordinance is before you. The Village of Lac LaBelle has already adopted this. The Village of Summit and Town of Merton are also considering this ordinance as part of their public safety on their lakes.
Thank you for bringing that forward. When I lived on a lake and you have open water and then the changing in depth and you have all the snow cover, if you're a young person walking, you have no clue.
Yeah.
And so I think what you brought forward is very good for the community, and thank you for doing so. Questions, comments from council? Alderman Spiegelberg.
How do we encourage the other lakes in the area to also adopt this? As I'm assuming, you mentioned Pewaukee Lake, that we are potentially providing mutual aid to these lakes that don't have this ordinance.
Correct, yeah, our dive team responds throughout the county and neighboring counties. This has become a increased topic in more and more communities. City of Delafield, I believe, has already adopted this. We can't dictate those communities, but we strongly encourage the county chiefs network and emergency management networks to get this out there as a public safety concern.
Thank you.
Other comments? Alderman Mulder.
So I'm firmly in favor of this. I know that it's the first reading. I think we should keep it the first reading. I think this is something that most people probably aren't aware of, and I could see people coming forward that live on lakes that want to have, at least express their opinion. So I would encourage before someone jumps in and says waive the second reading, that we allow the second reading to go forth.
Alderman Rozak.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Matt. I think the same thing.
Really good idea.
One thing is a lot of folks, we talked about this at the last Western Lakes meeting. It seemed like all the communities in Western Lakes at least are considering this ordinance over the next couple months, couple weeks to enact. I mean, is that your understanding from that meeting?
Yeah, the communities that have lakes in them or rivers, waterways that this would prohibit the aerators on are,
So hopefully at least this will be universal throughout Western Lakes at least, where we service.
yes.
Okay.
Alderman Altman-Cloth.
No, I think that's a great idea, Matt Mulder. And the lakes aren't frozen yet, and they're not freezing anytime soon. So, I mean, going
hope
based
not.
on.
Don't
yeah,
say that.
Going
Don't
based,
say
yeah, the
that.
safety. And then Alderman McConnell had brought up in committee about, you know, if someone did still have their piers in with the plan of using aerators, we want to make sure they have enough time to know that's not going to be allowed this year. So they're going to have to make plans to pull those piers out. So, I mean, and that's an unknown right now. So, no, I'm fully in support of that.
Alderman Youngworth.
I'm in support of this for two reasons: safety, and for a question that was answered earlier about property, right? Not having owned. So I got that answered. Do we just, for curiosity's sake, do we know about how many people do this? I'm assuming it's a minority. Not really.
It's not a large number. I'm not aware of any on LaBelle, but we were aware of a few on Okauchee Lake that allow it, and obviously Pewaukee from last year's incident. So I'm not aware of anybody on our two lakes here in the city proper. And also I should touch on it, the newspaper reached out after last week's meeting, so I did share this information of the why and why we're bringing this to our communities as an ordinance. So it should be in this week's paper as well.
Alderman McConnell.
I think it's definitely a good discussion. I'm in support of this. Two questions. Do we have a plan for informing everybody on the lake of this new update should it pass? I want to make sure that if it does pass, we are communicating it. And
So the nice thing is with Lac LaBelle adopting it, they knew which property owners were using aerators. So they are sending a letter to anybody that was using them. And like I said, I'm not aware of any. I talked to Mark and Chief Pfister of anybody on the city half that was using it. We'll put it on our Facebook page. Like I said, it's going to be in the newspaper as part of a public education of the why. Because I have seen some people make comments of we're taking away property rights, but what these are doing is artificially taking away the ice. We're taking away the natural component of the lake safety.
And it's not their property.
And we don't own the lake.
Yeah, the other thing, I think, Mark, if we could have Paige put something together, we'll put that on the city Facebook page to that point. I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
so moved.
Go
Not
ahead.
waiving the first, second reading.
Second.
Any further questions or comments? So we have the motion including the first reading. Call roll, please.
Alderman Shell Pepper.
Aye.
Alderman McConnell.
Aye.
Alderman Youngworth.
Aye.
Alderman Rosick.
Aye.
Alderman Altman Cloth.
Aye.
Alderman Ellis.
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Aye.
Alderman Mulder.
Aye.
On to Plan Commission items, consider act on the certified survey map for PAPS 59 to divide one lot into 4 lots located at 1581 Town Center Way. Mr. Gallo.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 2 items. I'd like to present them both at the same time, and then if there's any questions, I'd be happy because they're related to each other. We have certified survey map number 1, and then we have certified survey map number 2, and it's on the same parcel. It's the area highlighted in yellow on the screen. They have different addresses. This first one, 1581 Town Center Way. Previously, the city enacted a CSM or approved a CSM that created 4 different lots. What we're talking about tonight, right now, is Lot 1. We're going to be redividing this into different subsections, areas, parcels. You can see this is the general plan for that whole area called PAPS 59. 1 is the innovation technology buildings, 2 is the residential with some mixed-use buildings in it. 3 and 4 are the commercial areas. The CSM that's before you tonight, and both of them are to subdivide the innovation technology. These were the 4 80,000 square foot buildings. They decided at first, when they initially built them, they were going to have 4 buildings on 1 parcel, which we do allow that. But now through either financing or for potential sales, they would like these on separate individual parcels with separate tax key numbers. One thing that we talked about at length at Plan Commission was these 2 areas should not be considered lots. These were on their plan as open space. You can see there's trails and there's amenities, there's pickleball courts, walkways, green space. Lots can be developed. Outlots are not developable. So those lots have been changed into outlots. And then they would have outlot 1, 2, and then lot 3 and 4 on this first CSM. The reason that they can't go more than 4, that's a state statute that says you can only have a cumulative total of 4 lots and outlots together. So that's the first one that would be recorded first, and that would then 1 building that's existing that you can see out there next to the Fleet Farm, that would be on its own lot right now. Then the second CSM does something unique. It creates 2 buildings, the ones along I-94 without public street frontage. They're calling this Innovation Way. We had them name this stretch of the street differently than Town Center Way. And, these are going to be 4 buildings that look alike. They're going to have a lot of guests, workers, deliveries, drop-offs, interviews, pizza deliveries, whatever comes. So they need different addresses. Otherwise, people won't know. So I didn't want this to look like the back of house. These are truck docks back here. So I wanted the council and the Plan Commission to see what is this going to look like? Is this really going to be a public street? They're going to have wayfinding signage up here. But what is Innovation Way going to look like? Well, here it is. This is, you drive in, and then this is going to be the area. They will have addresses on the buildings of what it is. There are some truck docks back there, but there'll be some concrete walkways. They're going to try to reduce the amount of other stuff, dumpsters and transformers and stuff, but they're going to try to make this look like a private road. And this will be the end where the turnaround is, where it dives into the parking lots. So I wanted to see some images of what that looks like. Because what we are looking at is this road that comes in. This is going to be a private road. There will be a private maintenance agreement for that. And that's what the second CSM is at 1585. It's going to create, take this, and there's a total of 4 things, 3 lots, lot 1, 2, and 3, and then outlot 1. This outlot 1 is that road, private road that you see. The Plan Commission did review this at length, and they recommended approval of both of the CSMs this evening.
And I just want to make a comment. Jason did a great job, council, because of how it was presented. He made it much more usable and much more available from a visual standpoint. So great job, Jason, on taking it to the next level, because we discussed this quite a bit at the Plan Commission. I'd like to open it up for discussions. Any questions you have for Mr. Gallo? The property owner regrets that they were not able to come this evening, but Jason should be able to answer most questions, I believe. If you're uncomfortable with that, we can table this to another meeting. Alderman Rozak.
Jason, what is different with this new plans and the new CSMs from what they presented to us for the original approval of all the zoning and everything, you know, year and a half ago?
What we're doing tonight is we're redividing Lot 1, the purple area on this map before you. That's what's different. This initially was approved as one large lot. You can see it was 32 acres, and now it's being subdivided into 4 buildable areas, plus an outlot here, an outlot here, and an outlot in the middle for the street. So it's just subdividing it up. The buildings don't change, the parking lots, the counts don't change. Nothing really changes other than the number of lots out there.
One thing that occurs to me, though, is when you split out a lot like that, it makes it easy to sell off separate parcels, right? So when it's all in Lot 1, which is what we approved for the zoning in the area originally, it was to be owned by one group that was going to, you know, make these buildings, they're all going to be the same and have the same look. We split this up, and I'm hoping our planning commissioners mentioned this. Those separate new lots within Lot 1 now can be sold off to some different owner that may have a different design and change everything and ask for changes. And they will be allowed, because I don't think we have a building-specific plan there to change what they want to do there, right? So, for instance, Lot 3 in what is now Lot 1, they decide to sell that off to the highest bidder, and they throw in whatever, Amazon distribution center. They'll be able to do that, right?
Well, we do have, this is a planned development overlay area, and there's restrictions on it. Minor changes to the buildings can be approved by the Architectural Commission. Substantial changes would need to be going back to the Architectural Commission for their approval. If it's a really big change, like an Amazon comes in or something, you know, then they would have to come back and amend the PD.
Well, the PD calls out general building, but I don't think the PD laid out exactly what the design.
The design or inside?
Yeah, I mean, they can put a commercial building there approximately the same size that has been approved. They don't, but they could change the entire kind of format of the whole area, couldn't they? I mean, the PD overlay does not say they all have to be the white buildings with the same look. They presented that as what the vision is of what it's supposed to look like, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if someone buys it, they have to comply with that vision.
We approved the general development plan, and that included the imagery that they presented with the materials and the colors and the overall design. And I would think that it would have to resemble that. That's part of the PD. That was, you know, the plans are referenced in the ordinance. So they couldn't come in with a metal paneled building, you know.
Well, so then that raises another question for me. Why split it up then? Just to have separate addresses? Because that doesn't make sense to me, because when you build apartment buildings, there's going to be 125, 130 units in 2. They're all going to have different addresses on one lot.
A lot of times they do that for financing purposes. A bank can't, you know, doesn't want to finance the whole 32 acres, but they'll break off
It's the same way they did it, like, and Newman did that, same thing Bickler does. They go in different blocks, and that's why we keep getting all of those coming back for approval, because of the financing component.
I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, and I'm not necessarily trying to be, you know, a stick in the mud, but it does seem like an odd thing to do after they just started the first building. I don't know, I guess I'm concerned.
I think one of the things I was looking at that they probably would do is there are people that don't want to just rent a building, they want to own it all. So that's also part of the component outside the financing.
yeah, I get that, but, you know, they're not here to answer those questions, so those would be questions I would like to ask them personally.
Yeah, we're always happy to hold this over for 2 more weeks if you feel that's important.
Yeah, I mean,
Alderman-
I'd love to.
Alderman Ellis has had his hand up.
So, see if I can answer that question for you, Matt, a little bit. One of the things that we did discuss was that question, why 4 buildings? And Jason, if you recall, we talked about mailing and UPS and Federal Express and how do you know what building to be in and what that looks like? And so by segmenting it this way and having these 4 separate buildings, it makes it much more user-friendly for the mail than it would if they were all just in one. Am I correct? Can you help me there?
Right. We had them assign a different street address to this east-west road here, Innovation Way, and this is Town Center Way. So these will have Town Center Way addresses. This is Innovation Way. So then when you put it in your GPS and you know, it'll get there, this will be assigned, and then people will find these buildings on Innovation Way. But yeah, there'll be a lot of, these are kind of hidden off the main route here, up here, so they're kind of hard to find, and there'll be a lot of deliveries, you know, trucks coming in here, a lot of meetings, so I think it is better to have a separate address. It's always been 4 buildings, so it's not like they're separating these from one large building into 4, but we wanted different addresses to identify where the buildings were.
And that was the big concern there, is how do we know Town Center Way A, Town Center Way B? What does that mean? What building is that? I'm supposed to have a conference in building number 3. Well, which one is building number 3?
The one with the number 3 on it?
Well, but where is it?
Alderman
So
McCannell.
that was just some of the questions we had. That's all.
Alderman McCannell.
I echo almost everything Alderman Rozak said. The timing of this seems really off, and the fact this wasn't presented in the original plans, even if it was financing, they knew they were going to need to get this financing this way. It's frustrating to me that we approve these massive projects, and then as soon as it starts, it's change after change after change. And even if it was, I mean, I currently have a business in a building that has 3 different units, and we just label it 102, 103, and never have a problem with the mail. But why create 4 separate lots, like especially like this small one right here? Like, you know, what's going to happen with, I think it's 3, or outlot 1?
It's an outlot, it can't be built on.
Can't be built on.
But then why create a new one? So the timing of it seems off, and also, I think it opens this up to the conversation of what happens if the first building is not successful, they're not able to fill it. What happens to 2, 3, and 4? We might get stuck with, I don't know what's in the overlay at this point, but we might get stuck with something that's not remotely what we approved or wanted. So I think the timing of it seems, I have a lot of questions about it. I think it would be nice to hear from the developers before we, at least for me, before we make any motion or
Okay. Alderman Altman-Cloth.
I agree with what McConnell and Rozak are saying, and your offer early on to table this. And I do have to say, and I appreciate your explanation, I really do, but I grew up in an apartment in Brookfield, and we were all 1300, and then what the name of the street was. I was apartment number 5. That's how I got my, that's how I got my mail.
You'll ever be in.
That's how I got my mail. But no, I am in favor of tabling this until they can come and
So we have
answer
a
some questions.
couple of ways to do that. We can, my sense is that you'd like to hear from the developer, and you can, unless anybody puts forth a motion, I can just put this on hold without the tabling, or you can do the tabling process. Either way gets the same outcome. So Alderman
Can I just ask
Shellpepper.
a quick question of
Yeah.
Attorney Riffle? What's the standard that we have to work on when we're making the determination for the CSM?
You have to have a reasonable reason why you will deny their request for land division. I have no problem with the fact that you have a bunch of questions here that could be answered very easily if they were here.
Okay.
So you will not have a problem if you want to put this over to say, we're not going to take this up until they're here.
So Jason, we're going to take these two items and we're going to put them on hold and request that when the developer can come, we would like to have him here and bring them back. If there aren't any objections, we can do that. If you'd like to make a motion, that's up to you guys.
No.
Alderman Rozak?
I don't need, I think that's a great suggestion, Mayor. I don't want a motion, but just for the record, I also have some questions about those outlots. And if we start splitting up the lots, so something you can talk to Coleman and Wingspan about, or PAPS 59, whatever this group is, ask them about those outlots. Now that they're splitting up Lot 1, who's going to control the outlots? Where do the outlot control go? And who's going to be responsible for developing those and doing all the things they said they were going to do, the paths, the pickleball courts, the preservation of the Indian mounds? I think those are good things that they should be aware that, someone like me may ask on council the next time they're here.
Alderman Spiegelberg?
And as we are tabling this, then the next time we bring this forward, I'd like to hear from police and fire to see if we are designating these buildings separate with separate addresses, does it facilitate better safety for those buildings and for the individuals that work in those buildings?
Got it. Thank you, Jason. Let's move on to some new business. We're going to move right to 9B. Consider act on Resolution 25-R3320, approving the 2026 wastewater treatment rate adjustment. Mr. Hatton.
Thank you, Mayor. This was, as you'll recall, the
Do we have
subject
the right
matter.
guy speaking up there?
Subject matter.
Just when he's getting rid of his hair, he's growing more.
No, so,
Stan.
are you checking for us on that, Jason, or? So shaving your beard looks very nice.
Thank you, appreciate that. This was last taken up at a public hearing on November 4th under a joint committee, the whole utility committee meeting. It was recommended for approval at this tonight's council meeting. I have an attached memo and a rate schedule that would be both current and proposed, and I'm happy to address any questions, but no further detail other than what's in
Any
the
questions or
memo.
comments from the council? Like to entertain a motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Any further questions or comments? Call roll, please.
Alderman Shell Pepper.
Aye.
Alderman McConnell.
Aye.
Alderman Youngworth.
Aye.
Alderman Rosick.
Aye.
Alderman Altman Cloth.
Aye.
Alderman Ellis.
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Aye.
Alderman Mulder.
Aye.
Next up, consider act on the approval of the 2026 utility budgets.
Thank you, Mayor.
Steve, yeah.
Like the first or the last item, and thank you for approving that, because the second item was predicated on those rates that you just approved, as discussed at the public hearing 2 weeks back. So nothing further to add unless there are questions.
Like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved Altman Cloth.
Second, Ellis?
Any further comments or questions? Call roll, please.
Alderman Shell Pepper.
Aye.
Alderman McConnell.
Aye.
Alderman Youngworth.
Aye.
Alderman Rosick.
Aye.
Alderman Altman Cloth.
Aye.
Alderman Ellis.
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Aye.
Alderman Mulder.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Let's move on. Mark, do we have any staff reports today?
No, sir.
No staff reports? Any comments from Alderman this evening? Alderman Mulder?
Yes, I've reached a decision and have decided I'm not going to be running for another term. And I'm going to be sharing that tonight. Have not submitted my papers yet. Did a lot of conversation. The first time I have a opponent running against me or would be running against me, which it would be easy if I didn't to just take another term without really thinking of the energy and requirements of that job. But having an opponent really made me think, do I have the energy that's needed first to run the election, and second, that the community deserves of their alderman. And ultimately, I just decided that 6 years was the right amount. And it's really hard sitting here saying that. But I wanted you all to know that. It's been a lot of fun, but I think it's time for somebody else to put their energy into it.
Thank you. Any other comments from Alderman this evening? Alderman Spiegelberg?
I just want to say, we'll still have a few months, so we'll have our little, goodbye farewell session, but I appreciate everything you've done, Matt, and I've enjoyed sitting next to you all these years.
with Alderman Rozak.
Yeah, I'll echo that, Matt. You've been on some, same side of me on some issues, other side of me on issues, but I know you and I were president VP for, I think, 3 terms together or so, 3 or 4, and got to know you really well. So wish you the best. And, you know, yeah, we still got 6 months, right? 4 or 5.
Get some stuff done.
We got some time.
You bet.
For sure.
Good. Jennifer?
I just want to say, if Matt and I raise our hands at the same time, call on him first, because 90% of the time, we're about to say the same thing, so just let him have the final words the next couple months.
Great. Without any other comments from Alderman, I just want to echo the same thing, Matt. You've just been what I think epitomizes a really high-quality council person, somebody who's independent, somebody who just looks at the issues and just tries to do what's best for the community and listens to the community. And those are hard things to do, and my hat's off to you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And on December 8th, you want to go out and party? I mean, April 8th, yeah. April 8th, let's go party.
You can go on December 8th also, but.
That'd be good, too.
Looks like he invited you out in April and December.
Thank you.
That's what it sounds like.
I have no further comments. We're going to go into closed session. Closed session, please take notice that the Common Council of the City of Oconomowoc will convene upon passage of the proper motion to go into closed session pertinent to Section 19.851A, Wisconsin State Statutes. A closed session may be attended by the Common Council and staff. The purpose of the meeting is for deliberating and negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or the conducting of specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session pursuant to 19.851E, and/or to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted with respect to litigation into which it can become involved as authorized under Section 19.851G of state statutes. Specifically, we will be discussing our issues regarding to the potential intermunicipal agreement and/or litigation with the Village of Lac La Belle. Before we go into the vote into closed session, thank you everyone for coming. Once we come out of closed session, we will adjourn the Common Council meeting at that time. We're going to go into another room. I'd like to entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Shell Pepper.
Aye.
Alderman McConnell.
Aye.
Alderman Youngworth.
Aye.
Alderman Rosick.
Aye.
Alderman Altman Cloth.
Aye.
Alderman Ellis.
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Aye.
Alderman Mulder.
We are going into closed session.